What would you do if your online store converted 36% more shoppers? You could take 36% more vacation.
Another pina colada? Yes, please.
Open a new retail location with 36% more square feet.
Fantastic.
Hire 36% more help.
You're hired and you're hired.
Shopify has the world's best converting checkout, up to 36% better than other e-commerce platforms. What you do with those extra sales is up to you. Switch to Shopify today at shopify.com/listen and get a $1 trial. Shopify.com/listen.
It is 12 noon. Welcome back in. It's lunchtime across the great state of Alabama. Thanks for joining us here on Three Man Fronts. We will be live today and tomorrow, off Friday, back on Monday. Today it's myself, Landrum, and Conrad. Molly will be back with us on Monday. Appreciate Brian Edwards, Wimp Sanderson, and Ben Portnoy of the Sports Business Journal joining us just moments ago. And coming up just straight ahead, we're going to talk to our good friend Michael Bratton from That SEC podcast. SEC Mike will join us momentarily on the program, get his thoughts as we head into the month of July, where we'll have SEC Football Media Days coming up in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we know we're going to have stormy weather. That brings heavy rain. You want to make sure your house is protected. You can do it with a locally owned and operated company that we use for our roofing needs, and that's Noto Roofing. You're going to deal directly with the owners, Sammy and Matt Noto. Chris, their field superintendent, who's been at 3 decades. He will come out to your home, your place of business, with that free estimate you're going to take advantage of. And he's going to be very honest and open about what he finds. He's been to our listeners because I've talked with them, and they've said they've been to their house and said, no, you're good to go. Your roof looks good. You got another 10. You got another 15 years. No, that's nothing to worry about. They're going to be upfront and honest. They're not going to sell you something you don't need. Trust me, you can trust them. Noto Roofing, NOTOroofing.com or 205-848-2299. When Sammy answers the phone, tell him Landrum from Jock sent you.
One of our favorite guests joins us now, Michael Bratton, SEC Mike on Twitter, X-Fame. He joins us now. You can watch his show with Cousin Shane on YouTube as well. He joins us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Mike, welcome to the program. I want to start by the very first question is, what will you do now for the next 15 minutes if we can't talk about Hugh Freeze?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just be happy as I can be that we have removed that, quite honestly, I think he was a black eye on the entire conference. I know we joked about Auburn, but getting him out of the league, I think it just made it incredibly better. And, my thoughts and prayers to all the cart attendees and greenskeepers that he's got I can't imagine what he's complaining about and the excuses he's making for every time he misses a shot there on the golf course.
Is there an equivalent acting SEC football coach that you would compare Hugh Freeze to? Is there another guy that kind of strikes you that same way?
No, he's in a league of his own. No, maybe we could say Bobby Petrino last year was close.
Okay.
He's obviously got a shady background, but no, I've got a lot of family in Memphis, so I know about Hugh Freeze and his shenanigans dating back to his days at Briarcrest. I mean, he's just an awful guy.
That is Michael Bratton. That SEC podcast joins us here on Three Man Front. Let's stay on the Auburn segment here for a second. Your thoughts on Alex Golish being hired down on the Plains? He's doing really well in recruiting right now, a top 10 recruiting class. But what do you think in season number 1 on the Plains? Do you think this Auburn team will be bowl eligible?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that should be bare minimum, Pat. They should be – I don't want to say they're going to win 8 games, but I think they're capable of doing it because they're finally going to have a competent – not only competent, I think the offense is going to be really good. And I just laugh at all these people that say, can you really take South Florida players and will that translate to the Southeastern Conference? I mean, we're still asking this in 2026 where last year Joey Aguilar comes from Appalachian State, leads the league in passing. Ahmad Hardy comes from ULM. He tears it up on the ground. And, of course, Indiana just won the national championship with a ton of JMU players. So that does not concern me at all. What actually does concern me, and we know how good the defense was last year, DJ Durkin's doing a heck of a job, but just the defections they had on that side of the ball, how big of a step back do they take on defense? Because I think they're bound to take a step back. Hopefully not a massive one, but I just think this is going to be a far more competitive, balanced team this fall.
The flip side of that, on the other side of the state, Michael, we're talking about Alabama. Kalen DeBoer, a pivotal third-year quarterback. We're not really sure. We know there's talent there. You've got talent in the running back room. Where are you on Alabama with what some say a top 5 toughest SEC schedule?
Yeah, I mean, as optimistic as I am about Auburn, that's about as pessimistic as I am on the Tide. I think 8-4 is as good as they could possibly do. I don't think they can do any better than that. I don't think there's any shot they go to the playoff. I think had they not foolishly signed Kalen DeBoer to this massive contract extension, I think this would be his last year. I think they've doomed themselves to another year of them. And again, it's nothing personal against I think he's a really good coach. I just think he's a poor fit at Alabama. And how in the world someone is undefeated against Sarkisian and Dan Lanning and Kirby Smart up until the SEC championship, but he can't beat Mike Norvell or Sharon Moore. I don't understand it, but I just don't think it's going to work out for him in Tuscaloosa.
All right, so I am curious because when I was on your podcast a couple of weeks ago, we got into this discussion. It was a healthy discussion. Nobody yelled at each other, but I am curious. So you keep using the term in regards to Alabama that Kalen DeBoer is not a good fit. Who out there that is currently a head coach somewhere, because we all know that Alabama is not going to hire an assistant coach somewhere, possibly with no experience to be their head coach, who would be a better fit in Tuscaloosa than Kalen DeBoer?
Well, we all threw Lane Kiffin deservedly under the bus for walking out on a team that was entering the college football playoff, right? I think Curt Cignetti would have walked out on Indiana at halftime of the national championship game if Alabama had offered. I mean, you could go get him. Lane Kiffin would crawl on broken glass to have taken that job. That they never considered him. I mean, to sit here and say Alabama doesn't have options, I think they could get nearly anybody they want.
SEC Michael Bratton joining us here on Three Man Front. All of our guests join us on the Higginbotham hotline. I am curious, you talked about Alex Golesh, another first-year coach entering the league, but his record, his history, his pedigree, we know him from here in the state, but also what he was able to do most recently at Tulane. John Summerall taking over Florida. A lot of people kind of slowly coming to the table with this Florida team as potentially a dark horse in the SEC. How do you see the Gators, Mike, in 2026?
Yeah, I love it seemed like Florida fans were so upset when Summerall got hired. Another G6 guy that he's not an offensive-minded guy. We're doing this again. Isn't it funny how a couple months later, I mean, they're all bought in. Yeah. We're going to the playoffs. But that's the way it works with college fandom. That's why we have these jobs that we have. So I love it. And I do think John Summerall is an excellent coach. He exceeds expectations everywhere he goes. He just wins and wins and wins. My only problem is, he doesn't quite run that style that Florida fans seem to want. He's not going to – now I think Buster Faulkner is going to do a really good job with the offense, but are they going to score enough to – at Florida, it seems like winning's not enough. It's got to look good too. I just don't think that's John Summerall's MO. So, again, I love the hire. I think he's as good as they could have possibly done. But I hate to rehash this time and time again. You guys are probably sick of it, but I would have liked Summerall at Auburn and Golesh at Florida. I think those two would have made a lot more sense.
All right, I have to ask you because most preseason magazines, they've got Texas and Georgia both in the top 5 nationally. I think when everybody votes in Tampa coming up in a couple of weeks, it's going to be 1-2, probably either or, Texas 1, Georgia 2. But you've got a different take on the Texas Longhorns for 2026. For those that might not have seen what you think of this year's Longhorn team, tell our audience what you think about this year's version of Steve Sarkisian's team.
Well, basically the same thing I always think about a Steve Sarkisian coach team. They're going to massively disappoint, and they're going to drop games they shouldn't. And I get it. They're talented, right? They may be the most talented team in the country, but I got them outside of the playoff. I don't think they're going to make it. I think they got the toughest schedule in the country. I think that Ohio State game will be massive for them. If they drop that one, I don't think they're going to the playoff. If they can finally beat Ohio State, then I think I'll be proven wrong. But whenever they face one of these teams, like an Ohio State, like a Georgia, they just don't man up. And I don't think going out and hiring Will Muschamp is a guy that was on the couch with me last year. I don't think that's going to solve all their woes on defense either.
So if I'm reading this right, you've got Texas losing to Ohio State, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, LSU, and A&M. So you've got them going 6-6 in the regular season. Is that correct?
No. See, I made a mistake there. If you look below that, I accidentally posted that. That's against the spread picks.
Against the spread. Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense. I was about to say, Michael, we need to have a talk, brother.
I think they could lose. I think they could go 9-3, though. That's
9-3. Okay. Much better.
That's where I have them.
Much better. Okay. Well, hey, listen, if you don't cover the spread against Ole Miss at home, I mean, they might be ready to send Steve Sarkisian out if he doesn't get that by covering the spread at home against the Rebels.
Yeah, and it just remember, they're the basket weavers. So
that's true.
Put some fuel on that game right there for Pete Golding and company, where I don't know what it is, but all we've had is just trashing Ole Miss all across the SEC this offseason. I thought Pete Golding was a pretty popular guy behind the scenes in the coaching ranks, but apparently not with everybody.
How high on LSU are you?
Not very high. I don't really get all the hype. I mean, I get it because it's going to be fun and it's Lane Kiffin, this, that, and the other. But for as much as you can overhaul a roster via the portal, I don't know that you can port over culture. And he did a fantastic job at Ole Miss. I do think he's a really good coach, even though I've called him Lane whiffing for years because he always whiffs on a game or two he shouldn't. Now, of course, we call him Lane quitting for quitting on his team. But so they'll drop at least one that they probably shouldn't. And I just think it's going to take some time to rebuild an offensive line, a receiving core, a quarterback that is not proven he can stay healthy. You throw in all those pieces together, and it's playoffs or bust with an incredibly difficult schedule. I don't think I'm not saying they have no shot, but I just think that's going to be tough to overcome. Now, I do think the defense will be really good. And them keeping Blake Baker, I think that's, of all the moves they made this offseason, I think that's the best one Lane Kiffin made because I think the defense is going to have to hold that thing together the first month. If they can go undefeated the first month, they probably will go to the playoff, but I don't think they can.
So a couple of years ago, no question, Vanderbilt kind of came out of nowhere, and Vanderbilt's been extremely competitive the last 2 years. Of course, Diego Pavia is no longer there. They do have a 5-star quarterback coming in. I'm not asking you about what you think of Vanderbilt this year, but I am asking you what team in the SEC could be like the Vanderbilts from the last couple of years, kind of that surprise team that maybe people aren't paying that close attention to, and we're going to get midway through the season, and we're going to go, wow, this team has a legitimate shot here to make some serious noise.
Yeah, maybe South Carolina, because I do think getting Kendall Briles in there, I think for the first time ever, we're going to see Lenore Sellers as a competent offensive coordinator. And they also, he brings his offensive line coach, Randy Clements, who's a really good coach. Carolina's been a train wreck on the offensive line. I understand people that may roll their eyes and say, didn't we do this last year with Sellers? And it's true, we did. But I don't think it's fair to really judge him, given that the last 2 years, no quarterback in all of college football has been pressured and sacked more than Lenore Sellers. So I don't know how you judge a quarterback that is literally getting hit more than any quarterback in the country. And they're always pretty stingy on defense with Clayton White. So I would keep my eye on them and maybe a secondary team. Again, not that they're going to make the playoff. I think that would be absurd. But I think Mississippi State finally is not going to be pathetic on defense because they bring back Zach Arnett, who we can mock what he did as a head coach, but he really did a good job as defensive coordinator last time in Starkville. If he can do anything close to that, Jeff Levy really is a good offensive coordinator and quarterback coach, and I really like Tamario Taylor. So, again, not that State's going to win 10 games, but I think they could shock a lot of people and maybe win 7 or 8.
Mike, based on your post-spring rankings that you released late April, Oklahoma came in at number 2. Where are you on Oklahoma and a healthy John Mateer this season?
They're my pick to meet Georgia in Atlanta for the SEC championship. So I think Oklahoma will get right back into the college football playoff. Brett Venables, I think, is the best defensive coordinator in college football. And Mateer's another tough one to grade. We know he got hurt, but also I just don't know what he had to work with last year. They had about one capable receiver. They had no capable tight ends, and they just really couldn't get the running game going. I believe he led him in rushing attempts. You can't have that, particularly with a quarterback that had surgery in the middle of the year. I mean, that's kind of foolish, right? So what is Oklahoma on offense? They don't have to be, one of the better offenses in the conference, but just be middle, and the defense will get you there. Special teams are really good. I think Oklahoma, I think they're capable of winning the national championship.
All right, Mike, before we let you go, I am curious, as of July 1st, and this could change, but as of July 1st, how many teams, I'm not asking you which teams, but what is that happy place number for the SEC in the college football playoff this year?
Like teams that get in, I think it'd just be 4.
Just 4. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it's 6 or 7, but now with the 9-game conference slate, we may be fortunate to get 4.
That is Michael Bratton.
Get to 24 teams quick.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be voting on that thing before Christmas. Yeah. Better believe it. That is Michael Bratton, That SEC Podcast. Awesome job as always. SEC Mike, good to see you. Good to talk to you. Hope to see you soon down in Tampa.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Michael Bratton joined us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Yes, we hear you, and we see your text. A lot of you reacting to what you just heard. We will clean some of that up, and we'll get to you next.
SEC Mike never disappoints with his thoughts and feelings about the Southeastern Conference. Believes Alabama, best-case scenario for the Tide, 8-4. Thinks Auburn will have one of the best offenses in the Southeastern Conference. Believes the league overall will only have 4 teams in the college football playoffs. So if you've got a feeling or two on that, the text line is open, 205-834-9450.
Yes, and we will try to be polite and clean some of these responses up. First, we'll go to Ken. He says, Bratton is right about Texas. Too soft to play in a physical SEC. Other than his take on Old Hugh, which I agree with, what exactly are Mike's qualifications on anything? Seriously, who is this guy? He's a guy with an opinion. All of these predictions are not wrong right now.
That is true.
But I side with some of you on some of his takes, but that's what makes this so much fun. Somebody commenting, apparently after what they heard from Michael, nobody is good in the SEC this year except for Auburn.
Well, you also mentioned Oklahoma could win the national championship.
Yeah, that was an interesting take.
Has Michael looked at Oklahoma's schedule?
I would hope so.
And John Mateer has improved so much from what you saw last year?
Well, his thumb's fine. He said it was like he was throwing a baseball with 2 fingers.
It was based on defense, and maybe he'll have some other weapons around him. And Dr. Shin. Alabama's ceiling being 8-4 is Bama derangement syndrome.
No, I think predicting that they go 8-4 is not that crazy of a hot take this year. But to say that's the ceiling for them, that's a little hotter of a take.
SEC Mike, he's heard it from plenty of fans in the past, so I'll read this. I'll clean it up a little bit. Joseph says, nothing personal, Michael B., but you're just a DA. Joseph didn't like one of Michael's takes. Going back to the couple who, are they still on top of the Empire State Building?
They are now in police custody. They have gotten them off.
That's where they get you.
Yep.
Yeah, Colin says, nothing like starting an engagement in jail. Is that where a lot of romances get started? Hope not. Yeah.
Well, we were talking about that show yesterday.
Yeah. You had some budding romances that
Yes, you did.
originated from inside of those prison walls.
Yeah. Those wonderful ladies, yeah.
Drake lets us know finally the Board of Governors has confirmed Dr. Stuart Bell as the 14th president at the University of Florida.
Spent 10 years as the president of the University of Alabama. Now he is the president of the University of Florida.
That was my president. Yeah.
Somebody reminding us that Mike, SEC Mike, has rarely hit the mark on Bama. Uncle Jerry from Hayden. If Alabama goes 8-4, the Bonehead is headed back to the West Coast.
I wouldn't hold your breath on that one.
I just want to remind everybody.
Unless somebody comes and hires him away.
That's true. That they could pay the buyout. But Alabama is not going to fire him without cause and pay him $69 to $70 million. That is not
Correct.
happening. That is not real. There's no way that's happening. But as Conrad just brought up, let's say that USC's had enough of Lincoln Riley, and Lincoln Riley decides he's going to go off somewhere else on this side of the Mississippi River. And then there's a job opening, and lo and behold, Kalen DeBoer goes back west. That could potentially happen. But for him to go 8-4, they're not firing him because they wouldn't assign him to a long-term extension with a crazy buyout.
Conrad Van Chaos said this guy's Don with a picture on the YouTube feed.
I will say, I think this was probably the nicest I've ever heard him talk about Auburn on the show.
Because Hugh Freeze is there.
That is a big help.
He
for
peeled
Mike.
back a little bit of his history with Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, goes back away. Yeah.
I was not privy to the fact that he said he had family in Memphis and he
Briarcrest High School.
Yeah, that he had information based on Hugh Freeze from years gone by. So
Mark says the SEC will be lucky to have 3 teams in the college football playoff this season. SEC Mike said 4.
and say I didn't press him. Okay, give me the 4, but he just said 4.
We know it won't beat Alabama or Texas. No Alabama or no Texas. He's not crazy about LSU, doesn't sound like. Oklahoma. Who else? Ole Miss. Who else would he have? Texas A&M and Georgia.
I think from what I've seen on social media, I think he's optimistic about A&M again. Yeah.
And Dean Isdell just brings this to my attention. I didn't think of I guess it would be irony. It's pretty funny that Oklahoma State Cowboys are going to be sponsored by the Indians. Native Americans, indigenous peoples.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That is ironic. The president or the leader of the Osage tribe played football at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
So he was a Native American, and then he was a cowboy, and now he's back representing his Native American tribe, and now they're a sponsor of the so-called Cowboys.
Keep the text rolling in. 205-834-9450. Pat is going to update us when we come back on what is going on right now in the ATL. Because you think that the World Cup has already been turned on its head? This team goes down? Get ready. We'll continue here on Three Man Front. 12:32, Three Man Front. We continue here on this Wednesday. Pat, we get an update from the pitch, the natural grass surface pitch for the most part, at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, where you got knockout stage, round of 32, Congo taking on England. And England, if we were going to compare this to March Madness and seeding, England would be a 1 seed. If you had 4 1 seeds, they would be a 1 seed.
Before today's match, England had the third best odds to win the whole thing. They were behind Spain and Argentina for the best odds, not Vegas odds. I'm talking about the soccer experts that follow the World Cup on a daily, minute-by-minute basis. Argentina had a 16% chance of taking home the World Cup. Spain right below them, around 15%. England, 12% chance to win the whole thing. And then it drops off to Brazil, Portugal, Belgium, Colombia, Norway, and like the United States has a 1% shot, according to the soccer experts, to win it all. So right now, they just took their hydration break in the second half, the 70-minute mark, and Congo, they still lead England 1-0. The number of people and the number of pints that is being drunk right now in the country of England and around the British Isles is probably staggering, to say the least.
I'm looking at the power rankings that they released after the group stage. ESPN did. Anyways, they had Germany at number 6. They're gone. Netherlands at 7. They're gone. Morocco, who's still in it. They had Colombia at 9. Portugal at 10. Norway 11. U.S. at 12. Just to kind of give you an idea what the other soccer experts thought after the opening rounds. But the United States men's team taking on Bosnia-Herzegovina coming up tonight. Santa Clara, officially San Francisco, but Santa Clara, they're from Levi Stadium. And you get a 7 o'clock kickoff, which is nice. The 9 o'clock was hard. That was really tough.
Of the 32 teams left in the tournament, well, started the 32 because now we've had some eliminations.
Right.
They were the 25th ranked out of the 32 remaining teams, taking on the third best team in England. So,
and I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, Landrum and I were talking about this earlier. Landrum was bringing up that, this is a 1 seed getting upset in the NCAA tournament. This is,
if
you want to equate
it would be big. Going back to that list in the power rankings, I didn't start from 1. Yes, France is number 1, was number 1 after the group stage. Argentina was listed 2nd, followed by Spain, then England. And then Brazil at 5, then Germany at 6. Mm-hmm. I was scrolling through just to see some of the teams that had already been eliminated. But United States, a heavy favorite tonight. And just giving my quick scout of what I learned from actual soccer people was very organized, very gritty, this Bosnia-Herzegovina team. If the United States can spread them out, the United States has athleticism advantage. And look at the midfielders and where they think that they can really, really take advantage of Bosnia-Herzegovina and some of their shortcomings.
It would be interesting to hear what somebody would say. I know England is one of those clubs that it seems like they always get their heart broke. Like they're the team that is always predicted to do something and they're never in a position to actually do what people predict them to do. So if they do lose, which would be monumental, where would that fall, I guess, in the lexicon of British soccer?
I need some help on that, but I would think that it would be way up there. Congo just.
Well, by them scoring that early goal, they're able now to just kind of, the old basketball parlance, run at 4 corners. They can just.
So is this one of those where it's a contrast of styles, and the contrast of styles is if Congo was able to get up first?
I'm sitting here looking at a live Vegas line, and England's plus 215 to win.
England's had some opportunities too.
Oh, they've had a couple shots that hit off the goal post and off to the side.
But Congo, they got guys that are doing aerial tucks, twists, 2.5s, landing it. They're super athletic. Now, England does have one in the kitchen right now. Oh, and they got a goal. We're all tied. The header, in the box.
And that's their,
no offside.
And that's their captain, who I believe just put it in.
I can tell you what, establishments around Mercedes-Benz Stadium are super excited.
And that comes at the 75 minute of play for England, as they're now tied 1-1.
Just to see the disappointment on both of our faces. It would be fitting, right? that England loses. This being 250 years of our great country. 800-239-WJOX. We'll keep you updated on that game as it is still going on. About, 15 minutes of regulation left, and then we'll have some extra time. Hey, Don.
Hey, Ed. How y'all doing?
Hey, we're doing okay. Are you coming back from the announcement ceremony?
Oh, yep. Yes, sir. I watched it, and it was very good with on 3 Network, and they're doing it all day. And Conrad, your announcement's at 1:45 today.
Is Conrad announcing for a school?
No, there's a 4-star defensive back either choosing Oregon or Alabama and somebody else. And
He is going to Oregon.
He's going to Oregon, Don.
Conrad,
get everybody excited if you know he's going to Oregon.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Oregon's going to get about 3 or 4 kids, and they moved ahead of us up to, we're now 10th on 247, 11th on 3, and 6th in ESPN. But I got to ask you a question, Landry. You've been keeping up with it a long time. Has Auburn ever had 25 kids this time of the year?
I mean, you'd have to go back to what we knew recruiting in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I have no idea, but if I was going to guess, I'd say no.
By the way, very, very good interview with Jay Lee yesterday. I enjoyed that very much.
Yeah,
very
he does
good,
a great
very
job.
Good. And I actually bragged on y'all on the corner board too about y'all having him on. So good job.
We
I
appreciate that.
Pat, I sent you some pictures. We had a great event last night for my beautiful friend Crystal down at Barristers.
Yeah, I heard about that. Gary came walking through the driveway like he had been ridden hard and hung up wet. What did y'all do over there?
It was quite eventful, Landry.
I heard.
Larry, Mary,
I heard.
Creed, me, Gringo, my regular Barristers friends, and I've been trying to get y'all up there forever, Landry, especially you, the way you love karaoke, brother.
Yeah, I don't know why Landrum hasn't made it up there yet.
Well, if I can't play the piano, I'm not coming.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a good event. They had great music and everything, but no, I'm excited about Auburn. And Pat, I got to tell you, I've been complaining about Mike G. I mean, not Mike G. What's the guy's name?
SEC Michael Bratton.
Michael Bratton. I never have liked him. That might have been the best interview you've ever had with him on air.
Is that because he wasn't slamming Auburn?
Yes, because he was slamming Alabama and everything. And Chris, Conrad, even Chris Lowe yesterday on Fine Bomb made everybody mad picking Alabama 8-4 too. Conrad, what are you going to do if they go 8-4, brother?
Probably just continue on with my life as I do now, Don.
Continue to be a great
I'll probably
husband
continue to
Paige.
just do my job and be fine.
Enjoy home ownership.
Enjoy working on the best radio show in the history of sports talk radio.
You'll be miserable, Conrad. Come on now. Don't. I know you better than that. You and Legend both, okay?
Please do not put my name in your mouth next to how Legend will respond to that. I think I'll be fine. I'm a professional, Don. Thank you.
I was kidding you, buddy. But Bama hater will have fun with you, that's for sure.
Yeah, that is for sure. Well, Don, you going to watch soccer tonight?
I'm watching England right now, and I'm cheering for the other team. And I got to agree with you, man. That other team's fat. God, they're fast.
They are fast.
Good Lord.
Yeah. They got a lot going on speed.
Well, if you're looking for a place to go tonight, you can go to the Finnick. Finnick's having a great watch
Finnick's
party.
got a watch party tonight.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
and how about this? They got $2 drafts up until the first goal scored.
Wow. Good for them. But I got to work.
Second
tonight,
Avenue
guys.
South near Railroad Park.
I'll be at the restaurant tonight, guys.
Okay.
All right.
But I'll have it on for sure. I think what time does it start? 8 o'clock?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
If I come in and order a cheeseburger at 8, you going to be there?
Yeah, I'll be there. Come on by.
All right. I'll do it.
But guys, thank y'all very much as always, and see y'all soon.
All right. Thanks, Don.
See you, Don.
I could tell he got under Conrad's.
I don't blame Conrad. I would have swatted back as well. There's only so much you can say to respond to that.
I mean, it's Don.
I know. And that's probably why you didn't swat harder.
It's just Don. If you take anything he says seriously, that's shame on you. So it's done.
I take what he says seriously. He says he likes us. He takes care of us. We'll keep you updated. 1-1. 80th minute right now in Atlanta. 1-1 in the Congo, trying to upset our friends that are visiting. The English.
Yes. If you got a dangerous tree leaning over your house or maybe branches blocking your view, call Golston Tree Service today, 205-337-4443. Golston's licensed pros. They will handle everything for you, from trimming and pruning to full tree removals, fast, safe, and affordable. Don't wait until that next storm causes damage around your house or your car in your driveway. Call Golston Tree Service. They also offer 24-hour emergency tree service. So if something goes down over the weekend, something happens overnight, they can help you immediately. 205-337-4443. That's Golston Tree Service.
Oh, England has now gone late stage attack. I'm seeing a lot of give and go, a lot of pick and rolls. They're in the box. They are in Congo's kitchen. That shot deflected out. The action continues. We'll keep you updated on that. Three-man front continues to roll on this game day, or we call it match day. 12:48, three-man front, Landrum, Pat, and Conrad. Approaching the 85th minute of regulation. All tied at 1 between the Congo and England. Congo led for up until about the 69th minute of this game, but a header by the English ties the game. And the United States, of course, in action later on tonight in this round of 32 as they try to knock out Bosnia-Herzegovina. 7 o'clock, and reminded you, our friends at the Finnick, they're at 2nd Avenue South. They've got their watch party going on, which will be a whole lot of fun. And I'm told $2 draft beers up until the first goal being scored. So if the United States continues their trend, I would encourage everyone to get there early, because United States in all 3 of their group stage matches were able to score in the first 10 minutes. Now England has scored, updating you from that. And it looks like the English, barring instant replay or that goal being taken off the board, is going to survive.
The 85th minute, and it looks like Kane did it again. He is their team captain. He is the best player in England, and he had the header, and I believe he just put it in. And so it is now 2-1 as England has taken its first lead of the afternoon there in Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Stark Exterminators, that's who we use at the Roberts house when it comes to our pest control needs. And Stark, they've been family-owned for over 62 years. They're going to use the most environmentally effective solutions available. That's good news for you. That's good news for the environment. That's good news for your family and your pets. And right now, they're offering free home inspections or business inspections for your pest control. All you got to do is call 855-STARK. Now go to starkexterminators.com. When you do so, one of their talented team members come out to your home, like Zach or Alex. Maybe it's Brandon, Liam. And they're going to ask you a lot of questions. They're going to see what's going on. Have you had any issues, Mr. Roberts? Tell them if we've had any issues. They're always on the lookout for other stuff as well that could come up down the road. It's just a company locally here that you can trust, and they've been around a long time, so that should tell you something. 855-STARK now. Go to starkexterminators.com. Always tell them Landrum from Jock sent you.
If you see the clip of Harry Kane on this shot, and if you don't watch soccer, you have to tip your cap, because this was just an unbelievable shot by Harry Kane to put England up 2-1 with literally, probably with extra time, maybe, 12 minutes, maybe left?
Yeah, maybe.
It was impressive.
Harry Kane.
Yep, Harry Kane, the captain.
It's like hurricane, but Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. Puts it in the top part of the net. It was a heck of a shot.
When would we potentially face off against England?
Oh. Let me take a look.
Because that would be outstanding.
As I am looking down the bracket, you would.
Will we have to meet them in the finals?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
How perfect would that be? What would that ticket go for?
That would be July 19th in New York.
This year, U.S. versus England, New York. We're going to do that.
That would be something.
Oh, so good. I don't know if the English are going to still be around. I feel good about us.
Oh, you think we'll be in the finals?
I'm not ready to go there. I just want to win tonight. I told you if we lose tonight, I'm swearing off soccer.
This is it. This is the last shot for them to get Landrum Roberts in their camp.
I won't burn these jerseys that you and I are wearing right now.
Because we paid a lot of money for them.
We did, but I'm not. Can't do this.
I just know in my lifetime, I've heard it many, many times that this is going to put soccer ahead of all these other sports in the United States, and it's yet to happen.
Yeah, it hasn't happened. But we all love a winner.
Yeah, we do.
I'm here on this. If we can win tonight, then if we lose, and I'll be disappointed, just given that I think we have a better team than I thought we were going to have leading in.
Well, you're going to either play.
But I would be able to stomach that more. A loss tonight against a team that we're a 4.5 touchdown favorite over. Yeah, it's not going to sit well.
We would either play Belgium or Senegal in the next round, and that would be in Seattle.
And the projection would be Belgium, which is look, at this point, they're all tough, right?
Yeah.
That's England. Battling for their lives right now against the Congo.
Yeah, within the last 15 minutes, they've scored 2 goals to take the lead. And so now there's 6 minutes of extra time. So there's 6 minutes left to go in this game in Atlanta between England and the Congo.
Republic of the Congo. Or the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
Yeah, I just call them Congo.
Yeah, and then it's just they got it listed as cod up there. That's a fish.
Yep.
I like the uniforms, though. A little bit Ole Miss-esque when they wear the powder blues.
Little powder blues.
Yeah. And then that's just a classic-looking kit that the English are wearing.
The 3 Lions.
Yeah. Is Nike, is that the apparel provider for all or just a few?
Oh, of teams in the World Cup?
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's Puma and Adidas, Nike. I've seen no Under Armour.
Pat, what do we have going on right here? Congo with an opportunity.
Looks like England
do some play-by-play.
Has thwarted it.
Do some play-by-play in a Gaelic accent.
That'd be good.
Oh, and just too far. It's not Gaelic.
That was more York English.
Harry Kane. It's just, you got to say
Watch
everything
this
like
shot. Watch this. Watch the way. That's impressive.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Very impressive.
That was if Paul Skeens kicked a soccer ball, I feel like that's what it would look like. A lot of power.
Very much so.
So 2-1. England leading.
4 minutes left.
Democratic Republic of the Congo. Yes, 4 minutes left. We'll keep you updated there. What's going on in Hotlanta?